Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session today called Growth versus Grind, Agentifying the Customer Experience for Financial Services. I'm Angela Pokrivka. I am a strategic banking advisor and SME, a subject matter expert for financial services with TELUS Digital, and I will be your facilitator today. So during today's session, we're going to start off, I want to introduce you to our amazing Salesforce practice and give you a brief overview. Then we're going to discuss industry trends and customer experience as it relates to today's market and today's financial services industry. Then we're going to dive into some AI agents and some possibilities that are out there. And I'm going to introduce you to an agent that we built called the QuickQual Consumer Loan Agent. And then lastly, we're going to wrap everything up discussing next steps and how we can help you as a customer and help you engage with customers around AI and in financial services. So let's go in and let's talk about our Salesforce practice and give you a brief overview of our Salesforce practice at TELUS Digital for financial services. So our financial services practice at TELUS Digital, we have a dedicated industry team to financial services to support sales and delivery. And it starts off with our leader, Gopi, as our Salesforce practice leader. We have Brendan as our leader for sales for highly regulated industry. And then we have both Natalie and Dan as our senior sales directors. Then we have our amazing delivery team, which is led by Brad. And we also have Charlie and Chris on our delivery teams. And then we have Steve and myself as your subject matter experts for banking and lending. With inside our financial services practice, we have a depth and breadth of knowledge, whether that's going across banking and credit unions, fintech, and lending. We are also a proud summit partner with Salesforce around Financial Services Cloud and Salesforce. And in looking at our Salesforce practice expertise, we have expertise in Marketing Cloud, just to name a few, Marketing Cloud, MuleSoft, analytics, and of course, what we're going to discuss today in Agentforce and how that can serve you in the financial services industry. A few other key points I want to highlight here about TELUS Digital is that we have a global delivery expansion that enables flexibility in our support and services. We have a robust customer experience transformation with AI capabilities, and we have an enterprise scale projects across industries. So we have a depth and breadth of expertise and knowledge to help serve you and help you identify solutions and what is possible for you. So let's talk about our industry today in financial services, and let's talk about our industry trends and customer experiences and how we can tie those into solutions that TELUS Digital and Salesforce can bring forward. So let's look at some industry trends today. Of course, AI is top of everybody's mind, and it's top of our mind of how can we leverage AI? How can it best serve you? So when looking up what are some trends that are happening in banking today, of course, we turn to AI to identify what are the top trends as it relates to banking today. So let's start off with a technology-enabled institution. So you want to look at what is your tech stack? Are we currently enabled around our technology? What's the health of that technology that we have in place today, and how can we further that growth? Second, let's look at balancing innovation with risk management. It's always great to innovate, but are we managing that on an effective level as we look at what is the level of risk? What do we have put in place today that could serve us for the future? Or where might we need to add in some additional technology enhancements so that we can have that scalability moving forward with innovation as well as balancing and managing risk? That leads right into the third talking point, and that's scaling the organization. How are we looking at the organization as a whole, our technology stack as a whole? And going back to the second example of how are we managing risk? And what is our comfort level with risk as well? And now looking at AI strategy is the new cloud strategy. And so how are we leveraging AI? What is our comfort level in looking at how we want to leverage AI? What might be a great starting point? And what is our desired end future state? What does that look like? What is our process and our roadmap to achieving our desired end state? And lastly, interest rate challenges continue, as we know, and they've always continued. And so how are we going to manage around that? What is our communication strategy to our consumers, our customers, as well as internally around some interest rate challenges, because they always exist? And so now let's look at what are some customer experience trends? What are our customers expecting a financial institution to do and how to interact with them? So first, let's start off with an AI-driven personalization. Customers today want a hyper-personalized experience. They want their bank to know them, to get them, to understand them, and to know what their goals might be in the future. So you may want to ask yourself, how are we going to adapt to that? And what is our strategy for a customer's expectation of high personalization? And we have omni integration. Finally, this is a place. And so what is your strategy, your plan? How do you plan on architecting that within inside your existing technology stack? And our customers want real-time and instant services. They want instantaneous results. They want an answer right away. When they're on your website, whether it's to answer a question that they may have or to apply for a loan, they want those instant answers and those instant responses. And so a question to ask yourself is are you set up with the capabilities to provide that? And security. With great innovation, great technology, and AI also comes with a heightened need for security. So what does your cybersecurity look like? Can it meet the demands of the customers? Where might you need to add in some additional enhancements to meet the needs of your customers and still have that cybersecurity? And then lastly, customer experience trends is around data analytics for all channels. How are you leveraging the data that you have today? How are you leveraging your customer data so that it can serve you, so that you can increase your wallet share, so you can keep your existing customer base and build upon that and expand upon that in a robust way? And ask yourself, where might we could leverage our data at a higher level so that we can achieve our organizational strategy? And so these are some trends as we look at what is the customer experience today and what are the demands of our customers moving forward. So now that we've talked about our customer trends, what they're looking for, let's look at AI and how might some agents be able to help a financial institution move forward and achieve their goals. And so when we look at agent scalability, you could look at different agents to solve different needs that you have within inside your financial institution. And so we're going to start off by the top 3 agents. And this is a great example of an agent that could build upon itself in development. And this is really looking at it from a crawl, walk, run approach. And so starting with the first agent, looking at the loan guide agent, this would be your crawl agent. And this agent assists loan officers with identifying the right loan product to offer to a customer. The loan officer would enter in a loan scenario and to the agent, and the agent would perform an analysis of the loan scenario with the financial institution's lending guidelines to identify appropriate loan programs for this particular loan scenario. So this is like a training opportunity here for your agent. And so this would be your crawling agent. Then your walking agent would be your QuickQual agent. And this agent is a loan pre-qualification agent that compares the customer provided information. It triggers to third-party information to be collected, and it compares that data of the customer's information to the lending guidelines to generate an initial loan decision. And then the running approach could be a virtual loan agent. And this would be a multi-agent orchestration that provides 24/7 personalized loan assistance by answering lending questions, recommending products, and providing an estimated qualification. The agent will hand off the customer data to another agent, like a QuickQual agent, for decisioning purposes. So this would be a customer-facing agent and an internal-facing agent. And so this would be your multi-agent orchestration. And so this is an example of your run. So the top 3 agents, from a loan guide agent to a QuickQual agent to your virtual loan agent, is your crawl, walk, run approach. Now, the bottom 3 agents, these are other agents that could serve a financial institution in different functional areas, starting off with a lead nurturing agent. This could be an agent that engages with leads and prospects with personalized messaging based on behaviors and preferences. And it could offer relevant products based on like the conversation that's happening between this agent and the consumer. Then we could have a virtual banker agent, and this could provide 24/7 personalized assistance, answering questions. Maybe it's resolving issues and guiding the customer through banking services. This could enhance your customer satisfaction with consistent human-like support across all channels. And then lastly, another example could be a risk and compliance agent, where it continually monitors account activity to identify and flag any unusual or suspicious transactions. And it helps protect both the bank and the customer from financial loss in real time. So this is just an example of 6 agents that your financial institution might be able to leverage and utilize. But let's drill down on the agent that we're going to demo for you today. And that's going to be our QuickQual agent. And again, this agent is a loan pre-qualification agent that can provide some initial guidance as to, does this customer qualify? Are they qualified, well qualified, or not qualified for a particular loan program? So to set up our QuickQual agent, let's start off by a scenario. And so let's talk about Paula here. Paula here is a customer. And so she's our persona today. And so to demonstrate our QuickQual agent, let's start off with Paula's needs. So Paula is a single mother of 2. Paula has a long-standing relationship with her current financial institution. And Paula is also a mid-level professional. So Paula is in the need of purchasing a new car. And Paula wants to apply for an auto loan with her current financial institution where she's a long-standing customer of. Paula does have a little bit of hesitation because in the past with the previous financial institution, when she applied for an auto loan, she did not have a great experience. So she has a little hesitation going into the loan application experience. But Paula has decided that she does want to keep her banking relationship with her current financial institution, and she wants to move forward with applying for a loan. So let's look at Paula's emotional journey as she goes through this process. So Paula, she starts off with the awareness side of knowing that she needs to purchase a new car. And Paula is excited. She's excited about the opportunity of looking for a new car. She's already online looking at what type of car she wants, what color of car she wants, what features she wants in that vehicle. And so her emotions right now is filled with excitement because she's excited about purchasing a new car. So Paula decides that she's going to apply for an auto loan with her current financial institution. So she goes online to her financial institution website and she logs into her bank and she's going to start the loan application because she's ready to purchase a new car. And while she's filling out her application, it's long and it's asking her for information that she feels her bank should already have. And so she's asking herself, why do I have to fill out all of this information again? Don't they already know me? Because she has an existing relationship with this bank. It seems kind of unnecessary to provide redundant information. And so some of the emotions that Paula is experiencing here is hesitation, anxiety, and frustration as she's filling out this long application. Then Paula, once she's done completing this application, now she's waiting for a decision. So after submitting her online application, Paula waits for a phone call from her banker, hoping that she's going to get an initial loan decision. And she's asking herself, am I even being considered for this loan application? Should I go to a different bank because it's taking a long time? So this decision process is bringing up some doubt. Her emotions are she has anxiety, she feels impatience, and she feels some distrust because there's this lack of transparency as to where is her loan application, what is happening. There's a lack of communication or information being shared. And so now she's even thinking of going somewhere else. So after some time passes, the next day, Paula finally hears back from her banker, but they have a request for her to provide additional documentation, such as pay stubs, asset information, etc. And Paula is now saying to herself, this is way too much paperwork. The process should be easier. Maybe she's experiencing some frustration with uploading these documents online because it takes time. And so her emotions that she's feeling in this moment is fatigue, irritation, and stress because Paula needs a new car and this process is taking a long time. And so this stress is building up. She may have some confusion as a pain point as far as what are the required documents? How do we upload these documents? But then after waiting another time period, Paula hears back from her banker with the loan decision, and congratulations, Paula has been approved for her auto loan. And Paula is now, she's saying to herself, I got the loan, but this process shouldn't have been so painful. And so she has these mixed feelings of frustration and relief because of how long the process took, but she's approved at the end of the day. And so, the pain point here is that this emotional process outweighed the positive outcome that Paul is now experiencing because of how long the process was, the lack of transparency that existed inside this process. So today, this is a typical process for a consumer when they want an auto loan from their current financial institution. So how can we shorten this process so that it enhances the consumer experience, but also it enhances the ease of doing business internally for the loan officers and bankers inside a financial institution? And this is where the QuickQual agent can really come into play and help enhance the lending process for both the consumer and for the financial institution. And so before we go into the solution, maybe this is a time for you to write down a few key points here of what might be your pain points as they exist inside your financial institution, and how might you want to enhance those existing pain points that you might have. So as you're thinking of that, let's go in and look at what is our solution here with the QuickQual agent. So our QuickQual agent is really an agentic AI lending decision accelerator. And by automating the initial qualification decision, the QuickQual agent doesn't just free up the banker's time for complex cases, it also reshapes the customer emotional journey. Instead of anxiety, frustration, and distrust, the consumers experience confidence, empowerment, and loyalty. This positions the bank as a trusted tech-forward partner while increasing efficiency internally. So here's how the QuickQual agent enhances this process. So let's look at Paula from the beginning here. Paula realizes she has this awareness that she needs to purchase a new car. And Paula's excited. She's online shopping. She's thinking about what features do I want in my car? Maybe what color do I want of my new car to be? And so she's saying to herself, I'm excited to start looking for a new car. She's probably already online at this moment while she has these moments of excitement. And her emotions are she's excited to start buying a new car. That excitement then leads Paula to go online to her current financial institution's website to apply for an auto loan. So Paula decides that she wants to get an auto loan through her current financial institution. So she's logged into her bank and she's starting the application to apply for that auto loan. But the difference here with the QuickQual agent is that it's a shorter loan application. So Paula only has to provide fewer data points of information as she's filling out this loan application. And so it's quicker, it's faster, it's more straightforward, it's more intuitive. And Paula might be saying to herself, that was great. This application was shorter than what I anticipated or maybe what I experienced previously. And now she has emotions of relief, anticipation, and she's optimistic. And some relief points are that was a shorter application. And she provided consent for third-party verification. And that was easy because it was a shorter application because now she provided the consent for a third-party application. So here's where the QuickQual agent comes in, because now that Paula's provided that consent and the short form for her application, in the background, the QuickQual agent's gathering information from third-party sources, as well as the information that Paula provided. And it's going to compare that data to the financial institution's lending guidelines and rate sheets and any specific lending overlays, allowing now the third touch point to be Paula receives a phone call from her banker a few hours later during regular business hours with a lending decision. And Paula's now saying to herself, wow, that was a straightforward process. And her emotions are filled with excitement, joy, and happiness because her relief points were that was a quicker decision. Fewer documents were requested by the banker, and it was an easier process as well. And this is the beauty of allowing AI, such as the QuickQual agent, to support both the consumer experience as well as the banker's experience so that they can deliver a faster, more accurate decision to the consumer. And so to just summarize again, what the AI agent did is based on the consumer data and the financial lending guidelines, the QuickQual agent can make a loan determination of well-qualified, qualified, and not qualified, speeding up that process, giving the consumer information that they want at a faster rate. So let's look at the tech side of what happened. So what really happened is the consumer's online, Paula's online, she fills out information such as what is the loan type she's applying for, the loan amount that she's requesting, her personal information such as name, email, phone number, physical address. She's providing consent for a soft credit report pull, as well as third-party verification such as an alloy. That data goes into Salesforce. It creates a lead record. Behind the scenes, because she's provided consent, it reaches out to a third party such as Alloy for a call to bring in employment verification, income verification, your fraud detection, your KYC, AML, BSA checks, and it's bringing in a credit report. In this instance, it's a soft credit report pull. That data goes into Salesforce. So now your QuickQual agent comes in, is gathering the data that Paula provided, the third-party source provided, and is comparing that information to the financial institutions provided data, such as product-specific lending guidelines, your rate sheets tiers that are tied to credit profiles, risk tiers, and loan amounts, as well as any financial institution specific overlays. That agent is now gathering that information, comparing that information to determine if this individual is well qualified, qualified, or not qualified for that particular loan that Paula, in this instance, is applying for an auto loan. Where is she qualified for that lending decision? And so that is how our QuickQual agent works in a nutshell. So now I'm going to go in live and I want to show you our QuickQual agent in action and how it works when it's qualifying a customer. So we have Paula here, and this is inside of Salesforce, and this is Paula Carbuyer, and this is an example of her record in Salesforce. So at this point, Paula has completed the online application and she's hit submit. And now that application has gone into Salesforce and it's created a lead record. And you can see through the lead record, the information that Paula has provided has carried over into the lead record. And so the QuickQual agent can run automatically once a lead goes into Salesforce. But for this instance, so that we're showing you how it could work, we're just going to click a button here, because now that we know that Paula submitted her application, it's a completed application. If I click Mark Status Complete, that's going to be what triggers our QuickQual agent to run in the background. And our QuickQual agent is going to be, just like what we showed on the previous slide, it's going to take that loan application data that Paula provided. Since she provided consent for third-party verification, such as income verification, employment, and a soft credit report pull, it's going to take that third-party data along with Paula's loan application and compare that to the financial institution's lending guidelines, credit guidelines, as well as any other specific overlays. Once it's done that, it's now going to return a result. And so we can see here that Paula is now well qualified for this auto loan. And it will give you the rationale as to why is Paula well qualified for this auto loan. Now, this is important so that you have a record of it. And so when there is a human interaction between Paula and the banker has the reasoning on Paula's record. But also in the event that you're audited, the financial institution's audited, you have the rationale and the reasoning as to why a consumer was deemed well qualified, qualified, or not qualified. And so you have the data here outlining why Paula is well qualified for this transaction. Now, ideally, this would come into Salesforce. If you have a well qualified borrower, it would go right into your LOS system so that your traditional underwriting, automated underwriting and disclosure process will take place. This is just to speed up that initial process when somebody applies for an auto loan online. And you can see the decisioning and the reasoning as to why they may be well qualified, qualified, or not qualified. So a lot happens behind the curtain, but I think as bankers, we're really all used to that happening when we look at our AUS systems that we're used to using anyways. So now let's look at another applicant to show you another process. So we're going to look at Aaron Blitzer. And Aaron Blitzer has applied for an auto loan online as well. And you can see Aaron came over, all of his information came over, created a lead record in Salesforce, and you can see Aaron's information here as well. And so now we're going to run our QuickQual agent and we're going to hit mark status complete. And so it's going to compare Aaron's information from his loan application to the third-party data that was returned and compare that to the lending guidelines to produce an initial qualification decision of either well qualified, qualified, or not qualified. And when that decision comes in, we'll be able to see that decision and the rationale as to why. So for Aaron, unfortunately, it looks like his credit score was 458 and his debt to income ratio was 58%, but Aaron is not qualified for this auto loan. And so we can see Aaron's loan qualification status, and we can see the rationale as to why Aaron has been deemed not qualified for this loan application. So we can see here the reasons why, like how many trade lines, what is Aaron's credit history, what are their late payments, and we have a whole decision area as to the factors as to why Aaron was not qualified. So in this event, Aaron would still go into the LOS system so that it could then generate an adverse action notice, since Aaron was deemed not qualified for this particular loan type. Now, this is a great area where you could have some additional types of automations or workflows tied in with Marketing Cloud, where you could have Marketing Cloud tied in, and it could be, because Aaron may not be qualified today for an auto loan, but that doesn't mean forever he's not going to be qualified. So in the future down the road, Aaron could be qualified. So we might want to have Aaron be automatically entered into a marketing campaign for here's how to repair your credit, or here's how you can purchase a car, here's what we're looking for. And so that way we're staying top of mind with Aaron, and we're adding in that automation so that we're still maintaining this customer part of our bank. So we're increasing our wallet share. And of course, we're staying top of mind with Aaron throughout his financial journey. And we, as the financial institution, we want to be a part of that from the beginning through all the way and all of their life milestones. And so this is one way that you could do that and tie in some additional types of marketing through Marketing Cloud. But here, this was an example as to how our AI agent, the QuickQual agent, can help increase the banker's ability to work on more complex deals or work through more transactions and have a higher close ratio, but also help serve your customer by delivering them with a quicker decision to their loan application so that they feel that personalization and that support through their bank. So now let's look at some other key points as we look at the banking journey as we go past the QuickQual agent. So now that we've seen our QuickQual agent, let's look at what are some ways in which you could apply this today, or what are some strategies that you could implement to move forward with leveraging AI? And so let's look at those applications. So starting off with, let's set the strategy for agents and bots. It's important to have a strategy, lay that foundation, lay that groundwork so that it's sustainable and for your growth, and also have it be in alignment with your growth. So let's look at some of these talking points here. We want to be intentional with problem solving. We want to ensure that as we're going in to solve a problem, is that really a problem to solve? And is that in line with our organizational strategy and objectives for our existing year? We want to look at scaling our agents for reusability. How can we leverage them? How can we utilize the similar technology in multiple applications? Going back to a few slides before when I was showing you our crawl, walk, run approach, you could have an agent that could be used in different applications. And so can you scale them for usability so you're building them once that can serve multiple different use cases in maybe different departments? And you don't want to try to fit everything in one agent. You want to use a multi-agent orchestration when applicable. You know, you can put everything into one agent and it can slow it down. You know, it can make it work slower. And so this is where you can have that multi-orchestration agent. You know, I go back to my early days in my early career, and you know, one of my mentors said to me is that you could be the jack of all trades and the master at none. So let's have our agents be the master of their domain and leverage multi-orchestration agents so that they can work together and serve and work at their highest capability possible. Second, let's measure the efficiency of our agents and bots. Let's look at, does it reduce workload? What is the cost efficiency here to our agent? We want to also ask ourselves, has it met the design assumptions? Is it solving what we set it out to solve as we've gone through our build process? Sometimes it's easy to get lost in the mix of as we're building it out and the art of the possible, which is so important to be in the art of the possible, but sometimes we just need to scale it back and see, is it meeting the objections that we've set forth for it to meet? If not, where might we need to adjust? Third, let's measure the return of the agents and the bots. Is it delivering revenue that was forecasted? Which is such an important question because we want that ROI. We need that ROI, and we need to be able to be honest and evaluate that ROI. Are we getting the return that we have hoped to receive when we set forth to build this agent and put it into play? We might want to ask ourselves, is it delivering the expense reductions that were forecasted? Fourth, retire what has been replaced or suspended. There's no need to keep an inventory of agents that may not be working. So let's retire the ones that have been replaced or suspended to allow our focus to be on the ones that are actively working and functioning. You want to keep an inventory to prevent sprawl and unintended conversations. And so, you know, we want to be clean. We want to clean it up over time so that we can be very intentional as we work to build new agents or build upon our technology tech stack. And then lastly, wash, rinse, and repeat. This is all about continuous improvement. We're going to learn through what has worked, what has not worked, where might we add some enhancements, where might we change some things, what might have we done differently that we can redo in a new build. And so it's always about continuous improvement. And that is one thing that we know, especially in banking, because everything's always changing in banking, is that we need to be on our toes, but also with technology because it's ever evolving and changing. And so having that mindset of wash, rinse, and repeat is so important. And so now let's look at some next steps and how we can help. So looking at some next steps is now is a great time on how we can look at how can we serve you, what obstacles, what needs do you have, and that we might be able to assist you with. And so set up some time to chat with our sales leaders and with our SMEs. We're happy to help you talk through any ideas, hurdles, obstacles, things you're interested in, art of the possible. We're here to do that. You can scan this QR code to schedule a meeting with us. Account planning to identify customers that might be a great fit for this agent and any other agents and other use cases. And lastly, again, scan this QR code to schedule a meeting with us. We're happy to sit down, have an honest conversation with you, and help you out and help you explore the art of the possible. And so we just want to thank you so much for your time today and your participation. Please reach out to us if you have any questions, as we are here to partner with you. So thank you so much for your time. I'm Angela Pokrivka, and it was wonderful to spend this time with you today.